Sure.
Oh,
You want me to start the show?
I mean, we can start the show. Do you wanna introduce it? Is that what you're saying? Or you want to take on the responsibility?
I mean, I already did a couple times, so I'm just asking, like, can I do it this week?
Do you want this great power?
You know what? Sure. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Modular Components podcast. I'm your host, Buster. With me is the other host. We're not. Are we both co-hosts or are we both hosts?
We're both
Boingo.
hoary hosts. We're both hoary hosts of Hoggoth.
Yeah, that's Boingo, who made all that wordplay and does all the smart stuff around here. And a lot of stuff has been happening. Also, if everything turns out well, this will be the first podcast uploaded on Tuesdays, which should be the new day going forward. Because, Boingo, can I just reveal some behind-the-scenes baseball?
Sure.
Okay. We record these on Saturdays, and we used to upload them the next Friday. And then I realized, hey, wait a minute, we talk about a lot of topical things on these episodes. Why are we uploading them like a week after we record them? So we're just gonna upload them like a couple days after we record them to like be more topical and just it's easier for everyone involved, especially if Boingo's new job. I assume. Is it easier? It's the same amount of work.
I mean, it's the same amount of work. It's just, hey, you got to do it now.
Yeah. So a bit more urgent, a bit more get it to the pedal to the metal. But a lot of shit happened this week. Specifically video games. Lots and lots of video games. Cause we're in the holiday season, not just October, but just the general like Christmas rush and shit. So Christmas always stepping on the toes of October. It happens. But anyway. Sparking Zero, the new Dragon Ball game, and the return of the Budokai Tenkaichi / Sparking series came out, and it's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's not 1-to-1. My friend who sunk like thousands of hours into Budokai Tenkaichi 3, like they were playing it for the first time last night, and he was like, "Man, this feels a little off." And it's like, yeah, it kind of is. It's a brand new game. It's like new engine. And it's like I understand like not everyone's gonna be happy with like the changes, but like I'm having a lot of fun. There's so many characters. I already unlocked Cooler, so I'm set for life.
What is it about Cooler that just brings up your Jimmy?
I don't know. I tried to write about that, but I just gave up, and I'm like, I just like him.
It's just the Marge meme. I just think it's neat.
Yeah, that's legit how I feel about Cooler. I just think he's neat. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. That's my Dragon Ball talk. I like Dragon Ball. I just like every time people talk about it, they're like way smarter talking about it than me. Even though like I've read it, you know? You ever feel that where it's like I like this thing, but I'm nowhere near like the level people talk about it in?
No, because when I don't know a super ton about a thing, I don't talk about it.
I mean, I do know a lot about Dragon Ball. I just feel like I know like different things.
No, like what I'm saying is I can go on about the history of punk and indie music in America, and I can go on and on about Marvel. I'm not gonna talk about things I don't know about.
Yeah, that's
fair. A me thing. It's not me saying like this is what you should be doing with life. It's like, no, I'm not gonna. It is better to stay silent than prove yourself an idiot.
I mean, like, how else are you gonna learn if you don't like take the leap? Is kind of my philosophy. So,
but you're not learning by talking. That's just
trial by fire. Yeah, it's that's a whole other set of issues. But I like Dragon Ball though. Like I've experienced it. I know things. I just like
I had a thought though today about Dragon Ball.
What?
That if you took out all like the dope art and the cool fights and everything, what you're left with is just a lot of the story of Sonic the Hedgehog, and that's why sometimes it can ring a little hollow.
I think that's the other way around, but No, I'm talking about like in terms of inspiration, because it's like Dragon Ball Dragon Ball started.
Okay, what is it that you think I just said?
I think you just okay. I know what you mean. I'm just being pedantic.
You know what I mean.
Yeah, I know
that if you took out all the fun characters and the hype action, here's the thing: on its best day, those plot elements can work great for Sonic the Hedgehog. But if you don't have that sauce, you get 06.
Yeah,
That's what
yeah.
I'm trying to say. It's
And I mean,
like,
we've had bad Dragon Ball things before, so we've seen it before, you know. So yeah.
I mean, we don't have to talk about GT.
And I even talk about. I need to watch GT to form an opinion on it.
Yeah, I mean, you can stare at a wall for paint drying and probably be about the same.
Yeah, well, there's that color correction. I'm like, I'll try it. I'll try that color correction that came out, and I'm like, I'll try watching it eventually. I might, maybe with friends, maybe by myself. We'll see.
But
I only want to do it because my friend keeps memeing about Super Android 17, and I'm like, you know what? For
with the slutty shoulders,
yes, and the long hair.
I mean, 17 already had longer hair.
Yeah, well, like longer hair. The different hair.
But he doesn't have a trucker hat.
Yeah. I'm kind of like, also they were really disappointed when 17 did make it. Super 17 did make it into the initial roster for Spark Zero. Although, like,
I mean, at this point, GT is kind of like this weird novel thing that happened in the 90s that most Dragon Ball fans kind of ignore today.
yeah, except for like the cool power ups and shit in the video games.
Yeah, like people remember Baby and Super Saiyan 4. What's in the fucking roster? Baby and Super Saiyan 4.
And like a couple of the dragons from like the last arc, I think.
Wait, Omega Shenron's in there?
Something about, I think there was like GT Shenron in there, so let me
I'm
double
trying to
check.
remember. The only other dragons I think were cool were like the one that had like honor.
Zero Omega Shenron. I think he's in the game. Yeah, Omega Shenron is in the game.
Yeah, with the back spikes.
Yeah, the back spikes. Yeah. Also, Boingo, have you seen Daima yet? The first episode.
No, I haven't.
All right. Do you want me to?
Like, I haven't even clicked any of the spoiler things to go like, is it good or not? It's just
all
like,
right. Do you want me to give you my thoughts?
Oh, you can give your thoughts.
Okay, it's a Dragon Ball. Okay, so timeline wise, this actually is another before after Z, but before the epilogue type B. So we're just completely ignoring Super for this. We're going like, okay, it's another in between thing. So it's like, you know how Super was in between GT, and now we're going Daima in between Super.
At this point in time, I don't think GT's canon.
Yeah, but like, okay, so like Super's still canon, of course, but like so this is just in between Super, and like Daima's basically just Toriyama's take on GT, from what I understand, and what I've seen so far. No, the first episode. Okay, here's what. No, I feel like to understand this first episode, you gotta realize apparently they did a test. They did a bunch of test animation, and like so because a lot of the first 10 minutes of the episode is recap for the Boo saga and like reanimated stuff from the Boo saga. So from what I understand is that they probably did script something around that, but to like test out the art style and like animation, they probably did that as like a test. I could be completely wrong, but that's what I understand from like all the pieces I've gathered. This is what I'm trying to like fit into. I don't think it earned its 30-minute runtime. Maybe the other episodes will be like longer and like actually worth it, but this was a lot of setup. It's like you don't even see the kid versions of the characters; they just transform by the end, and it's like, all right, see you next episode. Or like, the theme song does bop, so.
I mean, hey, doing the big plot hook at the end of the episode is kind of like it hooks you in.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. And I did like the reanimated stuff and the way they recontextualize it. And there was a lot of great comedy in the episode, especially from the villains. The new villains have some really funny bits traveling. It's great. So, Daima, off to a pretty good start. I'm excited to watch more. It's going to be a bittersweet ride, but hey, you know, gotta watch it. Also, speaking of another Toei animated anime, did you hear about the One Piece news?
Yeah, the One Piece anime is going on break for a bit, and they are basically doing a DBZ Kai on the Fishman Island arc.
I'm surprised they started. I guess because Fishman's like the first post time skip, so it's like that's why.
Yeah.
I'm surprised not Dressrosa because you know Dressrosa was the infamous one that like a lot of people like. It's a popular arc, but the anime adaptation's a bit weaker, so.
I think the big thing with it is what can they get away with? Like, the time frame they have with the break, what can they into? And it's like, Dressrosa is going to be too long. This arc is going to be too long, but we can definitely do it with Fishman.
Yeah, and like they're going to do like a composite for it, so that's still like a lot of work being put into this recut. And Fishman is one of the better arcs of One Piece, so I'm interested. Like, and apparently they said a 6-month break, from what I understand.
Yeah.
No, I don't know if this is because they're waiting on like Oda to like finish up the current, like, or just to like give Oda like more time to like build a backlog of material to adapt, or like I heard this completely unfounded rumor. I heard that like apparently the One Piece crew is needed to work on Daima to like help finish that production up. Either or I think could work. I think either or is a valid reason. But
honestly,
yeah,
at this point, I think it'd be way dope if they just like 6 months out of the year, it's One Piece as it's been. Just keep going off of the manga. The other 6 months is they start doing Kai stuff.
Yeah, and it would give
them more. I definitely can understand them only doing like Grand Line and New World material because like we already have the One Piece coming out soon, which is doing East Blue Saga.
Yeah, and also like we already have a bunch of reanimated East Blue stuff, so there's a lot of East Blue adaptations to go around.
Like imagine them doing like a hyped up version of like Impel Down.
Ooh. Or
like maybe like Oda gives them like, hey, this I'm gonna tap into these arcs really heavily for the next bit. Reanimate those so like people are like kind of caught up to speed.
That would actually be a brilliant way to like do the Kai material, where it's like, okay, what arcs are relevant for the current arc in the manga? That arc. Okay, do the Kai version of that. Yeah, interesting stuff going on in the realm of Toei animation.
I mean, some of the differences they've shown are actually pretty cool.
Yeah, like the composite. It's like they overhauled the composite to like be like it's still like similar animation from what I understand. It just like the compositing is just way different because they have a different compositing studio now. It's working on One Piece. Yeah. I wonder what the next One Piece film will have. When will happen? It's probably gonna be a while because I mean they're already getting film quality like stuff in the anime, so it's like why go to theaters, you know?
And I think Toei's also kind of eased off on every franchise needs a yearly movie.
Yeah.
Other than like Toku, but that's also partially because we already have all the props ready.
Yeah, it's easier to do the movie stuff for Kamen Rider and Sentai.
But like with Dragon Ball, with One Piece, with what's some other Digimon.
They're still is pretty consistent with movies.
Yeah,
because that's still like yearly 50 episodes a year type stuff. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know.
Have you seen how many episodes of Gav have you seen, by the way?
Let's see. I've 5. I think I've gotten up to 5.
All right, yeah.
Because
I haven't watched the newest one, so.
Because for people who want to know, I plan on reviewing every episode of Gav, but I started day job, and that took a lot of time, and it's just figuring out the balance and figuring out when I can write and plan and record and edit the video, finding time in between.
Yeah.
And I couldn't really do any of that this last week because of fucking being right near Milton.
Yeah, it's the whole hurricane situation. Hope anyone affected, hope you're all safe.
Yeah, yep. But I had enough battery in my laptop to watch some things one night. It was just like I need to I need some stimulation.
You need an escapism.
So I watched like 2 episodes of Fies and 2 episodes of Gav and an episode of Boon Boon. And I just kind of I need to go back through those episodes, kind of skim through it, and go like, all right, this is how I make the video. Boom.
Yeah. I mean, you aren't making you don't have to do that for Boon Boon because you aren't making videos.
No. I'm just watching Boon Boon recreationally, and it's really good. Boon Boon is.
I fully caught up recently. It's really good. What episode are you on? Because I know you're like way behind.
I am way behind because I just kind of watch it whenever I get the fancy. Hold on, I can tell you. I think I've watched 22. I think 22 is the latest.
All right, yeah. We're on 32 right now, or like 33, so you got a ways to go, but like take your time.
Yeah. And my plan is I'm gonna get like all but like 2 or 3 of the 5 videos made, and then just schedule them.
Also, Boingo, have you read the Absolute Batman thing yet?
I have read Absolute Batman. It is really good.
Yeah, I'm liking it a lot. I'm excited to keep up with it.
I find it extremely funny that Bruce Wayne, this version of Bruce Wayne, is like 6'8", 500 brick shit house, but he has a baby face.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Apparently, he was born in 2004. I think that might be a lie. That's what I heard, or like on the page. I don't know. I could be wrong. Maybe it's like a different 04.
And I do find it like a few things I haven't seen anybody talk about. Real quick, spoilers for Absolute Batman #1. People are going like, "Oh no, is Bruce Wayne's friends going to become the bad guys?" I'm going like, "No, that's part of the whole shtick of this. It's going to be different, and it's going to be about like hope, and they're going to be his Bat family."
Yeah,
that's my theory that they're going to become this universe Bat family because like remember he's coming from a place of downtrodden, so he's able to much more empathize and like bring the goodness out of them, kind of thing. Like, because he has that connection, he can go like, "Hey, don't," and they're like, "Fuck, Bruce, come on, yeah, okay, I won't." Alfred, this version of Alfred fucking looks like Ra's al Ghul.
That's interesting.
Tell me he doesn't look like Ra's al Ghul.
I haven't seen Ra's al Ghul in the comics recently, so I'm like, I was like, okay, that's Alfred. All right, he's doing this. He's doing like spy shit because they like making Alfred do spy shit. All right.
Yeah.
Which I don't mind. I'm just saying.
Oh yeah, no, but here's the thing: there's no Waynes for him to be a butler for. So
yeah, so he never really. Yeah, and I do like this idea of the absolute, where it's like, let's take away one core element, but the trajectory is still the same, which is like, that's an awesome idea. It's not just let's just take away one good element and one important element and see what happens. It's like, let's take away that, but let's still like the character will still find their way to good, and I love that idea.
And also like they've shown what the Flash is going to be like, because it's Wally West without the Flash family.
Oh.
So
what? Like beginning Wally anyway, or
no? That would have been Barry.
Oh, Barry. Oh, Barry. Oh,
that's the difference, because Wally grew up a sidekick, became the Flash, had multiple people who was there to help him out, like had a family of other speedsters to kind of relate to and bounce off of, and now he has none of that.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Also, did you read the new Ultimates?
The
one with Hawkeye.
The one with the new non-binary Hawkeye.
Yeah, I like them a lot.
Charlie,
yeah. I do really like what the Ultimates is like, kind of like going for. The current run is going for, because like I infamously do not like the old Ultimate Universe outside of Ultimate Spider-Man.
Yeah, because the old Ultimates universe was heavily based on American geopolitics of the early 2000s.
Yeah, it's post 9/11 angst and yeah.
Oh yeah. The original Ultimates is the kind of story that will look you in the eye and justify the Patriot Act.
Yeah.
If you got nothing to hide, why do you care? And the current Ultimates is the one that goes like, "Fuck you! I don't want you in my shit."
Yeah, like it's kind of like, I feel like people like. But, like, it's weird. The comic reading public, at least on Twitter, which is a bad sample of anything, but we're going with this. But, like, unless something is overtly, like, edgy in 2000s, they just don't think it's political commentary. Even though political commentary could still be, like, here is a world, here is what is wrong, here are heroes going out there,
Yeah.
It's, I don't know, it's baffling, because I do feel like the new Ultimate Universe is like, well, not just like better because they're telling better stories. No, I think it's like honestly like living up to the original potential of the old Ultimate Universe of like, yeah, let's ground these characters in like realistic problems and realistic issues, and
I
shit.
think the biggest difference, though, is with the original Ultimates, the universe blueprint is the same. And so they're going like, okay, how do we make this feel different? Well, they had to really fuck with the characters.
Yeah, Hulk's a cannibal or whatever. It's like Iron Man has a mess suit.
Like all these different kinds of stuff. So with this version of the Ultimate Comics, the world is completely upended. It's nothing like our world. It's nothing like the Marvel universe. So the characters are basically exactly kind of how they would be from 616 because the world is so changed, and that's what makes it feel different.
Yeah, it's like you still have these grounded takes, but they still like have the heroism of the classic like Marvel heroes.
Yeah. The only one, the only one that doesn't count is Doom.
Yeah, Doom. Yeah, because the Reed Doom, right?
Yeah. Reed Richards Doom.
Well, that's a whole thing that like ties into like the inception of the current like of like Ultimate Invasion and all that stuff.
Oh yeah, it is the ultimate showing of the Maker's character of self-loathing and if I don't get what I want, why should any Reed get what they want kind of mentality.
Yeah.
Like that's what that's indicative of.
Yeah. Actually, Boingo, that just makes me think. Do you do you think a major theme of the current Ultimate Universe is like kind of like heroism versus nihilism?
Here's the thing, that's always going to be present.
That's always good. Yeah, that's always going to be present. I'm just like
I think a better way to think about it is it's your actions and what do they mean in the greater scope of things. Of that's better. Peter was doing good. He was a journalist that he was a good journalist. He's a he's doing good work. But the idea that you could do more and be a hero drives him on to be Spider-Man. Like all of the Ultimates, all the new Avengers are being driven by an innate want and desire to see the world be better and improve. Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, I don't think characters like the Hulk necessarily in this universe are 100% bad guys. Yeah, they're on the bad guy side. They are on the bad guy team. But it's seemingly coming from a place of, I am trying to do the most good, the most possible ways, instead of just doing singular good, regardless of the greater consequence.
Yeah, so it's more actions and like what they reflect. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just more talking about like, because I feel like the nihilism in the current Ultimate Universe feels a bit more down to earth of like the regular superhero fiction. So I don't know. That's just probably just me just reading too much into it or something. I don't know.
But
still good comics. Yeah.
The new Hawkeye seems fun.
Yeah, I like them a lot. I'm very excited because the next issue is like wrapping up an arc, so it's gonna be a big blowout of action and like major thematic conclusion.
And on Marvel stuff, Agatha all along is doing great.
Oh, you mean like in ratings?
I don't know how well it's doing in ratings, but it is a fucking great watch.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've heard it's
fun to watch.
I heard it's like surprisingly like, yeah, this is like fun. This is good camp, like fun witch stuff. Which I'm like, you know what? That's all. If that's what you want, that's good. It's good for the.
But it's more than that because it is like one of those pop feminism thingamajigs. You know what I mean? It's like it's all about like them exerting their own feminine power and all that kind of stuff. But there's also layers of like queerness because of the teen.
Yeah.
And Agatha and Audrey Plaza's character basically being exes.
Interesting. Yeah, I know. Like, I kind of need like a couple. Give me like a year before I get to the show. I know I said that with the Star Wars stuff, and I still have not yet to watch Book of Boba Fett.
But also, a lot of Agatha is like practical effects.
Yeah, that's good. It looks like a fun from everything I'm seeing, it kind of like honing in on a Hocus Pocus kind of vibe. Is that kind of
more? It depends on it's. I don't know how to. It's not Hocus Pocus because there's jokes and comedy, but it's a lot more about like dealing with trauma. And like the jokes are there more to obfuscate. Like the last episode's like a just giant Evil Dead homage.
Nice.
All that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I know most people are like, I don't just kind of checked out of the show because of like just the consistent like, hey, it's coming out, it's coming out. Okay, no, it's not. Now it's coming out because like it's just been in development for so long. Like, yeah,
Honestly, I'm kind of glad because it like spent that long in the oven. Like it came out really good.
yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I'll probably like if I don't know when I'll get back to MCU stuff. Like I don't know. Like I mean, I kind of peeked my head for Deadpool and Wolverine, and then I'm like, all right, you'll see you for Fantastic Four. But, like, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I don't know. I don't want to like over bloat myself and then complain because I used to be that where it's like, oh man, I'm so sick of this. Oh yeah, I keep eating it.
Yeah.
Like, granted, they kept releasing stuff for a long time.
Yeah, but you don't have to fucking watch everything.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh, like I'm not watching. You can't make me watch Falcon Winter Soldier. I'm sorry.
No, that's good though. I enjoy that.
Yeah, I heard some mixed like things about the political commentary, which I'm like, that's kind of just unavoidable with like kind of like the.
But here's the thing: oftentimes the people complaining about the political commentary are fucking purity test bullshit. You know, it's like if it's not exactly what I believe, it's bad. It's like
Yeah.
no, it's trying to say a thing from a very specific place. It's like, and people are going like, oh, so what? Sam's just gonna fucking say that and stay safe? It's like, no, he's giving the fucking heroic speech and telling them to fucking shape up. It's not. That's not the day save. That's the fucking lesson. And now we got to do better.
Yeah.
You know, it's just. Ugh.
You can't make me watch the new movie though. Screw that nonsense. And look, I would the Zionist and the cast.
Oh, is the actress a Zionist?
Yeah.
Okay, because that's the thing about the character. Because it's Sombra. Her first appearance is the Hulk going, "Fuck you! Look at this Palestinian child. You're an asshole." That's her first appearance,
Bruh.
Literally.
Why did they? Why? I just don't under. I know I can figure out why they decided, to get the extra money from the. I don't want to get too into it. Just I just don't like. If I watch it, I'm not watching it with.
No. I understand. If you're ever going to watch it, it's going to be on the 7 Seas.
Yeah. Even then, just the development hell that's been through, it's like it doesn't really give me much confidence. But like, hey, maybe it will be
development hell should never be used as a mark against a piece of art.
Yeah.
It should only be understood as a reason why a piece of art can come out bad.
Yeah. Well, just even then, like the trailer didn't really impress me.
Because think about it, Bomb Rush Cyberpunk went through a little bit of development hell.
Yeah. I think just development hell with more corporate projects gets me a bit more like cold feet because of like because it's more public and it's like we it's more dramatic for lack of a better word. It's less all right. We'll see you later, and it's more like I'm fighting with the devil or I'm just movie delayed or what. I don't know.
But I never hold development troubles against a piece of art.
Yeah,
use it as
a
way of understanding.
Yeah, it's a way of understanding. It's like
because remember, Del Toro's Pinocchio went through development hell.
Yeah, and it's more like the okay, if this is the current version, if they like, it's less pre-production. Like a pre-production hell, I'm open to is being filmed. That's why like a bit like. Yeah, that's where the collar tug comes in, and if it's still like being reshot and stuff, I don't know. Reshoots are normal. It's just like the 5th reshoot of like that's like budget to balloon. That's where I'm like, is this really the wisest move, guys? Just release what you have. I don't know.
I mean, here's the thing: if releasing what they have doesn't fucking work,
yeah, that's a lot of money lost. So just invest more money. I don't know. It's weird. Hollywood business. I mean,
here's the thing, and here's the thing specifically about the MCU.
Yeah.
They need the movie to be at least at minimum a C and connect and set up the things they need to connect.
Yeah.
Like, that's the thing. Because if it's like a damn good fucking movie and it doesn't do all the connections, they're like, okay, we can just fucking like Guardians of the Galaxy, They didn't have all the necessary connections, but it's like, oh, this is a good movie. We don't have to worry about it. We don't have to fucking fiddle with it.
Yeah.
Does all the connections, but it's not that great of a movie. It's fine. Iron Man 2, right? But if it's like, look at the MCU, it's kind of falling apart. Their big main villain fucking was a real big villain. So they have to fucking pivot, they're panicking a little bit because also the cultural cachet of the MCU has dipped down because for some reason people don't think ongoing serialized comic books would result in ongoing serialized movies. Weird how that fucking happens.
I think it's less. Yeah, like I don't
thinking
mind
that they're gonna end. Really? Have you seen comic books?
Yeah, like my thing with like people are complaining about Endgame, like, and I'm like, guys, you're complaining about the wrong things with this movie. I'm sorry. The problem with the movie, I mean, like, I like the movie, so I'll give it that, but I do have problems with it. But my problem with the movie isn't that, oh, it's not an ending, because it's an ending to an arc. It's like, it's shown in manga, you know, it's like, or some, I don't know. I feel like people need a...
It is not the end of a movie, it is WrestleMania.
Yeah, it's WrestleMania. It's a big event to like set up the new stuff. You know what was my favorite part of Endgame, Boingo? It was setting up all that stuff. And you know why I fell off the MCU, Boingo? It's because I didn't like what they did with that setup.
Sure.
See, that's I feel like that's a fairer critique than like what all these people are given to. I don't know.
Yeah, and here's it's just is bleh, you know, bleh. But like they have to pivot. They're panicking, so they're making panicked choices.
Yeah, Robert Downey Jr. really screams of a panic choice.
It is. Hey, here's the thing. I am willing to give it a shot. I am willing to sit down in the theater, going like, "All right, what do you got?" It is a panicked choice. It is the big red button.
Yeah, I've kind of cooled down on it because I'm like, okay, they're just never gonna get Doom right in live action. All right, fine. I mean, they can still get aspects of Doom right, but I'm like, they're never gonna get what I want to see out of a Doctor Doom in live action. All right, I'll just stick to the comics. You know.
Here's the thing. There's so much wonky going on there. They're playing something. You know what I mean?
There has. I hope they freaking like it was. Not like the dead Iron Man zombie corpse or whatever people are theorizing, but like something about...
Okay, everyone fucking making theories about RDJ as Doom. They're fucking missing the easiest fucking thing. Tony Stark is adopted. Where the fuck was he adopted from? There you go. There's your origin for fucking Doom.
I think I've heard a couple people saying that, but like, you know, but like, you know, the main. I don't know.
And here's the thing. You want to know what I would do?
What?
I would still fuck with that a little bit. Of like the a rich man in Latveria named Von Doom couldn't find his kid, so he adopted a new one, named him Victor. And it's just that's not true Victor Von Doom. It's just a dude who grew up to become a Victor Von Doom.
Yeah.
Who could have also been adopted as a Tony Stark.
Yeah, I still feel a bit about the idea, but it's like at this point I just gotta like suck it up and just.
I don't know.
It is what it is,
and I'm fan fucking thinging. It's just
you're fan wanking. It's fine. I don't know. I mean, I like talking about Marvel with you. I'm sorry if I get hostile when I talk about my opinion sometimes, like during the Deadpool and Wolverine episode. But like, because like I feel like you are willing to like hear me out on my critiques, but like I still like hearing your thoughts, you know.
Well, yeah, but here's the thing: I will also needle whenever you go whenever there's like a contradiction. It's like, come on, don't you let your emotions cloud.
I mean, like sometimes, hey, I'm an emotional guy. What can I say?
Yeah, and here's the thing: I will also say some of my opinions on the MCU do not fucking go with the current understanding of a lot of people. Like, I still say Love and Thunder is a perfectly adequate movie.
Yeah, I don't think I'll believe you if I see it because everything I heard, I'm like, eh. Also, I'm just like kind of Taika Waititi out. Apparently, his like new original film sucked, so I'm like, that sucks.
Yeah.
The next goalie wins. Apparently, there's like a made up transphobic, like it's based on a real story, and apparently they made up transphobia in the movie. Where like, well, that's just weird. Like I know it's like a biopic, and biopics exaggerate, but also, huh?
I don't know. I remember one big critique on Love and Thunder that people were giving us like, why is there a Thanos ice cream place? That seems kind of weird and in bad taste. And I just went looked at Taika Waititi and was like, you mean this man who is from a minority culture in his own land, which basically would had to have touristified and bumped up their own cultural elements in order to profit off of them in order to survive, would make a joke about a displaced community having to prop up cultural elements of their own thing.
Honestly, the Thanos ice cream truck sounds like the least of the movie's problems. That sounds a positive.
No.
That sounds like a positive. I'm sorry. The screaming goat sounds more awful.
The screaming goats are awful, but that's the fucking joke. It's just that joke overstays its welcome.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not saying that joke is good. It's like, that's the joke. It's like, haha, they're screaming. Isn't that funny? It's like, yeah, for like 2 times. You've done it 15.
Yeah.
Like, again, I'm not saying the movie's great. I'm just saying it's better than what everyone says it is.
I mean, yeah. And also just like, people are really looking forward to that getting adapted. And it's just so like, when it's like, oh, that wasn't nearly as good as I thought.
Here's the other thing. People need to stop thinking of the MCU as adaptations. It's its own universe at this point.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, I still think it should adapt characters.
No. It adapts characters in the same way the original Ultimate Universe adapted characters. It is taking the ideas and making it their own thing.
Yeah,
like,
and
that's the way you gotta look at it.
And I do like that. Like, I just wish like there was a bit more oomph to some parts. I like it's the Miss Marvel thing too. It's like just like I like the character. I just didn't like the story she was in. If that makes sense with like the Disney Plus show. I still gotta check out the Marvels. I heard that was actually like an okay movie.
Yeah, it's just people didn't watch it in theaters, and once it came to Disney Plus, everyone watched it. It was like, oh, this is actually really good. What the fuck? Well, the other part is people knew it would be on Disney Plus like sooner rather than later.
Yeah, it's also the whole Disney Plus shenanigans.
I mean, hey, they're fixing that. They are waiting longer to put things on Disney Plus.
Yeah, I know it took a while for Inside Out 2 to come to Disney Plus, probably because it's like now the highest grossing animated film in the world. So.
No.
You know what? Speaking of box office and comic book movies, Boingo, do you want to talk about a movie we neither of us have any interest in seeing, but we find very fascinating on the way it failed?
Oh, it is incredibly hilarious how it just failed the way it did.
Yeah, Joker Folia Do or Joker 2, because no.
What? You hate the French?
Maybe. I hate Todd Phillips. Okay, I hate Todd Phillips. Yeah, so the Shared Madness movie did not do well, and apparently Terrifier 3 is outgrossing it at the box office this week, which is like, man, people don't want to, screw this sappy clown. I want to see the murder clown,
Boy, a clown.
Yeah, and actually, I did watch the first 2 Terrifiers. Yeah, those are gory movies.
Yeah.
They're very gory. But I like the second one. I actually like the story in the second one. I thought that was one of the better slasher stories I've seen in a bit. Like something about like the extra fantasy elements they add is really interesting to me.
That's fun. That's cool.
Yeah. Have you watched the Terrifier, Boingo? Or are you?
No, I've been meaning to. They're on my list.
All right. I think you can handle the gore,
buddy.
I know.
Buddy, what the fuck are you talking about, bro?
Yeah, I know you're older than me. I know Simeon would just like turn off the film halfway through if I sat him on it. Simeon would just be like, "What the no?"
Nah,
I'm out of here. Yeah, but like, I think, I did enjoy the second one. The first one was kind of just. Boingo, is it fair to call a movie a tech demo?
Yeah,
because that's what the first Terrifier is. Tech demo for gore effects.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of how it started.
Yeah, and then it's like, oh, people are actually interested. Okay, let's make a story. Yeah, I'm not sure if I'll see 3. I'll probably just wait for digital and like Christmas time. But I just don't want to see that shit in theaters.
You don't want to be in a crowd who's eating that shit up.
No, I just don't want to be hearing like people go, ooh, I don't know. I want to focus. And I'm like, also, my stomach would probably, because I even, as much as I can handle it, I still get even butterflies in my stomach when I watch those gore scenes. Yeah. So I'm like, I'd probably not. I bring food to the movies a lot. I should probably not be eating while watching that.
No. Eat Twizzlers.
Twizzlers, good idea. Thanks for the advice.
Because they look like red intestines.
Yeah.
That's the joke. That's the jokes, people. That's what I'm
bringing. They're making a 4th one, which is like, okay, so you went to Christmas. What's the theme for the next one? All right.
It's a slasher flick. It's just gonna keep going.
They can do whatever. I can't wait till he gets to space.
Terrifier in New York.
Yeah, it's pretty cool how like it went from this very indie grindhouse film to like it's a new horror icon. People look forward to these films.
Yeah. And I think people were just really wanting just a good old fashioned slasher.
Yeah, although I don't know. I feel like man, my ideal modern slasher would be somewhere in between Terrifier and like the classic slashers, where it's like I don't know. I feel like because Terrifier has kind of filtered out a lot of people with its gore, so like it gets very extreme, like more than like the average slasher, like so. I feel like Terrifier is good for the hardcore fans, but I feel like there needs to be something for the medium horror. I don't know. I'm pretty sure that's already existing. I just can't name it off the top. Megan's like kind of medium slasher right now.
Yeah. It's just that we're getting a lot more like single one off horror things and not franchises anymore.
Yeah, Terrifier's like become a franchise, so
Yeah.
like it's like and like Art the Clown has a lot of like appeal like outside, so
Yeah.
like I mean, hey, Art's the entire reason I watched the movies is I saw that funny face and I'm like, all right, what's he about?
He's about murder.
Yeah. Oh, and he just doesn't stop. He just doesn't stop.
Can't stop, won't stop.
Yeah. I do want to see Art in Mortal Kombat eventually. I feel like it's only a matter of time.
Damn. Ed Boon, watch Terrifier.
I'm pretty sure Ed Boon has watched it. Like someone at the NetherRealm office would be like, "Hey, have you seen this crazy horror film?"
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
and it's like we already have most of the classic like horror icons in Mortal Kombat at this point. Just put the freaking like just get some new blood. I mean, Ghostface is kind of newer, but like that newer.
At this point in time, Ghostface is a classic slasher.
Yeah,
he has been around since 1998.
yeah. But I will actually. I'm tempted to buy Mortal Kombat 1 just for Conan when he comes out, but I'm also like, why would I want to play Mortal Kombat 1?
Oh, buddy. It feels so weird to just see that because it just feels like Mortal Kombat's still around because of legacy. Like,
yeah.
There's
no innovation.
Here's the thing. You hear about hype stuff coming out at Guilty Gear at like Evo and Street Fighter and KOF and Tekken. Like you see all these hype clips. I have never once just ran across like a hype clip of Mortal Kombat 1.
Yeah.
Like, you know what clips I see of Mortal Kombat 1? It's intro screens when the two characters are talking to each other.
Yeah. Which like I think those games do like that kind of like intro dialogue really well. Like that's some fun flavor text. But you know what also does that flavor text well? Anime arena fighters. What I'm saying is Mortal Kombat 1 is the anime arena fighters of the 2D fighting game genre.
Here's the thing though. Anime arena fighters still have some fun moments and fun gameplay.
Yeah, there's at least like, if you put a character like in Sparking Zero, like if you put a character against another character and you attack them in a specific way, they will like do a different animation, like that's always fun. But Mortal Kombat, I mean, just kind of like, I mean, I don't even mind the blood. It's just at this point, just get more creative instead of just, oh, look at this guy's intestines. Oh.
It just the animations just always seem super super stiff.
Yeah, that too. Like the way they did Omni-Man and just I don't know, he did look kind of boring, which is like Omni-Man should not be boring.
No, and it's just like they put Homelander and Omni-Man in one season. I don't know. This seems cool.
That's over. That's over. Yeah, that's very especially like if you have Peacemaker. It's like all right, Peacemaker and Evil Superman. Who's the third one? Oh, it's another evil Superman. I mean, granted, Omni-Man is more than an evil Superman, but, that was before Season 2 came out.
It's also before a lot of people just have seen the rest of the comic.
Yeah. Yeah. Actually, speaking of Omni-Man, Boingo, do you want to hate me for a couple seconds?
Sure.
Death Battle. Yeah, they came back with Omni-Man versus Bardock. And it was I liked the episode. I know a lot of people were complaining about it, but like I liked it. I thought.
Well, let me guess. It was Dragon Ball Power Scalers who go like, no.
Yeah, basically. But I thought there were some really good interactions in that. The one they actually thought like even though Bardock spoilers Bardock loses, so even though Bardock loses,
Frieza loses to fucking Omni-Man, and fucking Bardock loses to Frieza. Come on.
Yeah. But well, I thought Bardock still got really good moments in the animation where it's like he got a recreation of the "I will not let you destroy my world" from like Battle of Gods with like when he goes Super Saiyan. And then they even have like Omni-Man like does the Super Mario 64 on the giant ape Ozoru of Bardock, and he rips off the tail. And then at the end of the animation, when Bardock does like after like he's just like reflecting on what he's done, he just goes, "Damn." He is just like that. There's just a lot of subtle like character little bits in there, and I really like it. Like Tom Shulk, you know what Tom Shulk is, right, Boingo? He voiced
Vaguely.
Omni-Man in that animation, and he did a great job. Yeah. And then the next episode is going to be Joker versus Giorno from JoJo versus Persona, which is pretty interesting.
Coughing Baby versus Nuclear Bomb.
Yeah, I'm mostly like I know it's going to be a stomp, but I'm just here for the animation, man. I'm just here for like the little moments and the little characterization bits they throw in, And I think that you could do.
Because here's the thing, they're gonna do fucking Requiem.
Yeah,
He's gonna fucking pull out Requiem.
Yeah,
and
Requiem.
Any Requiem is a fucking automatic win button.
Yeah. I like it's more like we kind of know who's like unless they pull up a really crazy Persona feat, which I'm like I don't know, like I've played all Persona 5. I don't really think unless there's something in the spin-offs that I haven't seen yet that like lets Joker do combat Requiem, then yeah.
And besides, in that universe, Persona isn't the place with the fucking stupid feats. That's mainline SMT.
Yeah. Well,
like, you want the crazy shit, you go to fucking Shin Megami.
Yeah, but like Persona's more popular, so they do the Persona matchups more often. I don't think they have done an SMT matchup, even though I think like a Nabuhino and Demi Fiend.
Yeah, Demi Fiend would be cool.
Yeah, I just don't know who like I don't know what the popular matchups for Demi Fiend are. So
I don't know, because the thing is, like, Demi Fiend is just like a fucking blank slate. He's a player character. That's what he is.
Yeah. But like they've done player characters versus player characters or protag. I mean, Joker versus Giorno is a protag versus protag matchup. So like I'm pretty sure they can find something. I just I'm gonna Google. I'm gonna do the thinkable look at the death battle. Death battle Demi Fiend matchups. I'm looking at the possible opponents. Spawn, I guess.
Yeah. That's the thing though, like that doesn't fit because what Demi Fiend is like all like chaos and everything.
Yeah.
Like that's what the like last bit of like because Shin Megami Tensei 1 and 2, the pro tags are very much neutral.
Mm-hmm.
They are meant to be like how we view humanity in the battle between chaos and order. 3, which is Demi Fiend, is very much, hey, what if we just had chaos as a pro tag?
Yeah.
4 is back to neutral, and then 5 is order.
Yeah, even though you can do all like of those endings, like
yeah, but that's kind of like it's more of the
visual language.
It's more of like the intent because that's kind of how like you got like. The moralities Shin Megami Tensei is not necessarily good or bad. It's order is subjugation and order order, law, all that kind of stuff. But it also means often giving up freedom and free will and choice. Chaos is the ultimate place of free will and choice, but that also means that the weak can be preyed upon. Neutral is basically humanity looking at both these sides going, fuck you, and then magic and gods disappearing from our life.
Yeah. See, Boingo, yeah, I got you thinking. Just by bringing up Death Battle, I got you thinking. Actually, speaking of, I can talk about this an hour into the podcast. Guys, I've been playing Metaphor. I beat the first dungeon. I think this might be Game of the Year.
You just got Metaphor. Buster, didn't you learn about those in elementary school?
Yeah, this guy. Metaphor ReFantasio. Here's the thing, I didn't...
no, I'm sorry, I don't want Italian.
This guy. Yeah. But it's the new game by Atlas. Hashino and
the
Meguru.
Map Makers?
The Map Maker. Oh my god, this guy with the jokes tonight. This guy. Yeah, I mean, Atlas, like, they did make the frickin' Etrian Odyssey, and a lot of the gameplay is mapping things out.
Yeah, but here's the thing: they're not making the map; you're making the map.
Yeah. Well,
I say this as one of the member of the podcast who's actually an Etrian fan.
Yeah. Well, you know what I mean, yeah. I want to get into Etrian Odyssey. They ported all the games to PC, so I'm like, that's.
I mean, they're pretty bare bones dungeon crawlers where half the fun is like, I'm drawing a little map. I'm making myself little notes.
I still like doing that, so
Yeah.
I like me a good like the fundamentals game from time to time.
Mhm.
Fundamentals of the genre. And
Yeah.
also like the PC ports included all these like SMT and Persona crossover stuff, like as an
Yeah.
extra bonus.
I would also imagine, like, I'd be a little disappointed if they also didn't include the Untold re-release stuff.
And I'm pretty sure I think it's like the first 3 games.
Because the first 3, like, first 2 I know for certain. The third one may be. But they got, like, remakes because they originally were on DS. They got remakes for the 3DS.
Yeah, I think they're based on the 3DS version.
Called Untold, which basically adds, instead of making your party, it gives you a party and it's like, okay, these are actual characters with a story.
Okay, yeah,
To give you a little bit more to work with.
I think it is the Untold. It just says Etrian Odyssey 3D or HD, yeah.
I mean, I would hope they're in 3D.
HD, yeah, it's a modern port. But yeah, anyway, back to Metaphor. So this is kind of a big culmination. It's apparently this is an Atlas anniversary game, is what they're calling it. Where it's like it uses press turn from Shin Megami Tensei. That's the main gameplay for the RPG system. But it also has the clock and palace raid system from Personas 3, 4, and 5. And I think it's using the Persona 5 engine because a lot of the models look pretty similar to like how models would look in 5, just in the fantasy setting, and like of course a bit more polished up.
I mean, didn't 5 use Unreal?
No, that was 3 Reload. 5 used the engine from Catherine, so it's like a 10-year-old engine at this point. It's probably like the last hurrah for that engine because like this is a different, because remember this, it's the Persona devs. The current Persona team is much different than the but like I'm really enjoying the game a lot. Like the character, the little character moments, because there's still like even okay. So the cool thing is the little Persona stand-ins or demon stand-ins are called archetypes, and they're kind of like playing into like fantasy. Like, how do I explain this? So they're kind of playing a lot of like fantasy versus fiction. I am very early on, so I don't know what exactly they're gonna say with it. But like they're kind of playing with the ideas of these like story archetypes of embodying an archetype to like empowering yourself, or like like, oh, if you empower the stories of old, you too can be a better like like how stories teach us things and shit.
Yeah. Are they using the demons from SMT? Or are they new designs?
I think it's mostly new designs right now. I think I've seen a couple like you can make Jack Frost and shit.
Here's the thing. At this point in time, I would not consider, like, if Jack Frost is in it, it's not necessarily inherently part of SMT.
Yeah. Well, like I think you can make classic SMT demons. I haven't encountered them yet. I'm not at that point yet.
I mean, I would imagine if you probably have the Jack Bros, so Jack Frost, Jack O'Lantern.
Yeah. Jack Bros are like Atlas and Sega mainstays at this point.
And I would imagine you could do like some of the fan favorites, the ones that like Pixie.
Yeah. I mean, there is a Pixie stand-in, like, as one of your, like, your Morgana, like, type character. There is a, like, Pixie that stands in. It's not, like, the same design. It's, like, different design and voice and shit. But it's still, like, a Pixie archetype, which is...
Well, I mean, like, I'm talking specifically about the classic Pixie Demon.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Because, like, they haven't changed that design since, like, Shin Megami Tensei 2, I don't think. And maybe even 1. I think it's been that same design since for forever.
Yeah. I'll show you a couple of the character designs. Of course, the protagonist design, like, a lot of people are joking, this is just the Persona 3 love child of the protagonist and the robot girl, I guess. Let me Google this.
Maybe, you know what? This could be, like, is it medieval in theme?
It is. It's fantasy. It's fantasy medieval. Like, there's knights and shit, and like.
I mean, maybe this is like not necessarily a return of Last Bible, but kind of like a spiritual successor to Last Bible.
I could see it. Yeah. I'm gonna share Boingo some character designs.
Yeah.
And then these are your first 2 party members. You got like a pretty elf girl, and then you got a hot-headed Sword Boy.
Yeah.
What are the little horns? What do you call people of that? Like in fantasy stuff? I forgot.
Depends. The D&D term would be a tiefling.
Tiefling. I think they use tiefling in there. Yeah.
Uh, Oftentimes manga and light novels would say demi.
Demi-human, yeah.
Damn, those are straight up like Record of Lodos War fucking style elf ears.
Yeah.
Just
Like,
fucking
and
long and straight.
of course, being a modern Atlas game, the menus and UI look amazing. Like this is like there's some really good UI touches. Like what else? I just also just like the box art. Something about the box art because basically the setup of the game, like after you play the demo, because the demo actually covers like the first like half of the first chapter. It's like 5 hours, like 10 hours. The setup of the demo is like, okay, you're on a mission to rescue a prince, like who's a good friend of the protagonist, and the protagonist isn't mute. He actually talks. He actually has little bits and talks, even though he's still like a player insert, which is interesting. Um, and like the idea is, so the king like kind of comes in. He's okay. It's hard to explain, but like he passes on, but then he comes in during a big event, and he's like, "Everyone, fight each other for my throne," and then chaos ensues. Also, some of the main villains are called humans. Wonder what's going on with that. It's gonna be interesting.
You're just gonna have to play.
Yeah, I already finished the first arc, but like I still got a lot of game to go. It's these Atlas RPGs, they're the big boys.
Yeah.
But like having the time system does give like the little clock, like even if it is derivative of Persona, it's still like a good like way of like, yeah, okay. How am I like, how far am I into the game,
Do you think this is gonna kind of fall into what Yakuza did, where they made a spinoff with a lot of the mechanics that people liked, so that the main series can do something different?
I can see that. But also, I think this is just Hashino, the director, just really like the mechanics he set up initially and wanted to improve on them. It's gonna be interesting what they do with Persona 6 because I don't know what the new director is gonna do. I don't know. Like we just have. I mean, I think Persona 6 is coming. I think that's the next Atlas game we're getting. But just like just pure vibes. I think Persona 6 is next.
Now we're getting a new Devil Summoner game.
I would actually be down for that. At least ports. I think the Devil Summoner is due for a port at this point. Oh yeah, the thing I wanted to mention about the premise and the art, like you got this big you got the prince in the front, but then you got these like huge horde of people, and it's like in the back, and it's like yeah, there's standout characters, but it's like everyone's kind of vying for the throne, and that's like really cool to me. Yeah. I don't know, just little art. These little touches are really making Metaphor really interesting to me.
I mean,
And
I'm looking at the Metaphor on the Megami Tensei wiki. I think people are considering it part of the Megami Tensei franchise.
yeah, it basically is a Megami Tensei spinoff at this point.
Connections I'm reading through it. Archetypes are shown off in the trailer with the names Persona Master, Devil Summoner, and Soul Hacker, referencing Persona, Devil Summoner, and Devil Summoner Soul Hackers. Jack Frost showing up.
Yeah, Jack Frost, of course.
Skills, Hama, Tetra Break.
Yeah, like all the items and magic system is like still like the Atlas Megami Tensei shit.
Yeah. And yeah, that is basically just Pixie, but in pastels.
Yeah.
That's like Pixie, but what if she was not goth?
Yeah. It's interesting.
Okay, so this game is just what if we made Megami Tensei, but Hironium Bosch.
Yeah. Wait, what's Hironium Bosch?
He was a painter during the Renaissance. He's the guy who did those really big fucked up landscapes of hell.
Ooh. Yeah, I could. Yeah, that sounds about right. With like Hironium Bosch does like that kind of art style does fit Metaphor really well.
Hieronymus Bosch.
Hieronymus.
Yeah, this would be the classic one you would know. It's the guy who painted this stuff.
Yeah.
Boop.
Oh yeah, that's literally a boss in the game. That is literally a boss in the game. I am not kidding.
Yeah. but like it's heavily inspired by this art.
Yeah, that's actually really cool because I always love like learning the like because even though like we kind of a lot of people take the Persona series and like Atlas stuff kind of for granted. There's so much like little thematic and theming that they do with their games like that just really like whoa, when you look into it, it just completely overhauls your like perception of the entire series. You know?
Yeah.
It's like they do their research and they're even more not subtle than you think. You know? Like, yeah, the game's not just called Metaphor. We just took this painting and made it a boss fight.
Yeah, he's from the Netherlands, born 1450, part of the Renaissance.
That's actually that brings up like a point. I think like because they keep talking about in the game. It's still early speculation stuff, but like they keep talking about like kind of like fantasy versus fiction and shit, or like that's like something that or like they tell you in the menus and in the Igor like placement. Like area, the Velvet Room or the whatever, just the vibe area where you go to like mess around with the demons and archetypes. And you got they're calling the humans in the game these like big paintings and like these big monsters based on these paintings. Like it's really interesting. Like I think it's probably saying something about art. Like I mean everything's saying something about art, but like specifically like kind of like the human's relationship to art and like how that like influences perception and our goals. So it'll be interesting like if I'm completely off base or if I'm somewhere correct moving forward when I continue to talk about Metaphor.
Oh boy, this is definitely going to be a game that some people are going to have to, with art history degrees, are going to have to dive into.
Yeah. I'm already like hearing some pretty interesting stuff.
Because I'm looking at the Faker one, and that's very clearly like based off of Commedia dell'arte gestures and whatnot.
Can you post what you're referencing? And I'm just curious.
Okay, so this is the archetype from the game.
Yeah.
And this is a classical character in Commedia dell'arte, which is the. Are you not going to paste? All right, you're going to be a dickhead. All right.
Dang. Darn Discord.
There we go. A classic character from Commedia dell'arte, the Harlequin.
Yeah. Yeah, I always love like learning about these like real world like psychological and like art connections with the Atlas games. It's super interesting.
Well, here's the thing: Commedia dell'arte was a form of like theater, that heavily used archetypes as shorthand.
Yeah, and that's what they call it in the game. Yeah,
because they used characters, this like reoccurring characters, to play a variety of roles.
Yeah, and you could do that in the game. You can like the archetypes can take on multiple like the job system and stuff.
Here's a short list of characters: Colombiana, Harlequin, El Capitano, Pantalone, Pero, Scaramouche, and like they all have very specific traits that they have to play. Like the Harlequin is always a servant, sometimes the two masters. The Pero is always a servant, a sad clown. Scaramouche is always a braggart with villainous traits, and they always wore specific clothing to match the character.
Yeah, and that's what happens in gameplay too.
There you go.
Yeah,
I guess you're gonna have to research a lot about the Renaissance.
Yeah, I will definitely re-listen to this podcast to remind me to do that. Hey, future me, stop listening to this and go do your research. There.
Go learn yourself some art history, buddy.
Yeah. If you have any if you have any videos, please link them.
No. Here's the thing: I learned all this in like fucking art school.
Oh, well, I'm not going back to school.
Here's a person in a Pero costume.
Yep.
Well, like if you couldn't tell, this is also kind of where like circuses also kind of stem from, and all these different kinds of stuff.
And isn't like circus kind of a form of art, like circus performance?
Yeah, circuses are art.
Yeah,
they've had their dalliances into freak show and animal cruelty, but like circuses as a general conceptual idea are art.
Yeah. I'm just trying to reconfirm to myself. Just keep connecting it to the darn video game. I'm sorry, Boingo. Yeah, this has been really cool. Yeah, I'm glad I'm able to learn this stuff from you, Boingo. But finally, your art degree is coming in handy for niche podcast listening.
Yeah.
Give Boingo his flowers. Give him money today.
Give me money today. Give me money tomorrow.
Yeah. Just whenever. Whenever you have a spare dollar, give it to Boingo.
Give me money.
We've got to have money. But metaphor good. And honestly, Boingo, all this stuff you told me is kind of strengthening. It's like, oh yeah, this is game of the year for me.
That's good.
So you're just feeding into like my obsession now. Yeah.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah, brother.
All right. Did we do a podcast? I don't know.
We've done at minimum a podcast, but do we want to do a podcast?
Maybe next time. Boingo, plug your stuff.
Boingo Writer. I do a variety of things on the internet. Though at this point in time, it's intermittent because I have a day job now. Isn't that fun? Fuck. Brain started freezing.
It's fine. It happens to me too.
I'm on YouTube at Boingo Writer. I'm on Twitch /Boingo Writer, and you can find me on a variety of other social media platforms. Though I haven't been active as late. I am the most active on Bluesky.
And I'm Buster Corp. I do videos on YouTube. Too many, but maybe I'm slowing down. I don't know. I just do videos, just whatever I feel like. Just go watch them. I'm also on Bluesky and Twitter and whatever else. I don't know. I forgot what other social media. Just check me on Bluesky. Don't worry about the Twitter. Don't worry about it. And this has been a Modular Media podcast. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Also, Snowcone. Go follow him places because he wasn't in this episode. But just think about Snowcone at least. Just think about him. Think about how funny he is.
Think about the beautiful man known as Snowcone.
Enough said.
There you go. You're bringing back the fucking catchphrase from a goddamn podcast that's now defunct. Good job.
I didn't even mean it that way.